the keys to the Kremlin were once in Polish hands. In 1610, during Russia's chaotic time of troubles, Polish troops occupied Moscow, and the Russian boyars elected the Polish prince Władysław as their czar.
In our timeline, a Russian uprising forced them out 2 years later, leading to the rise of the Romanov dynasty. But what if the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth had held on? What if the largest state in Europe had successfully annexed the vast Russian wilderness?
This wouldn't just be a change of flags, it would be a total rewrite of human history. At the time, the Commonwealth was a unique experiment in golden liberty. It was a decentralized, elective monarchy where the nobility held the power. Russia, by contrast, was a land of absolute autocracy.
If the Union had survived, the history of the iron-fisted Tsar would have vanished. Instead of Peter the Great or Ivan the Terrible, the East would have been governed by a massive parliamentary nobles' republic.
The religious landscape of the world would be unrecognizable. The Commonwealth was a bastion of Catholicism, while Russia was the heart of Orthodoxy. A successful annexation would have forced a massive cultural synthesis. We might have seen the birth of a Uniate superpower, blending Eastern rites with Western political structures.
This religious bridge could have prevented centuries of conflict, or it could have sparked a civil war that burned across 2 continents. Geopolitically, this Slavic behemoth would have been unstoppable.
With the combined military might of the legendary Polish winged hussars and the relentless Russian Cossacks, the expansion of the Ottoman Empire into Europe would have been halted much earlier. Sweden's dreams of Baltic dominance would have been crushed. Most importantly, the partitions of Poland, which saw the country wiped off the map in the 18th century, could never have happened. There would be no Prussia or Austria strong enough to challenge a state that stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Pacific Ocean.
Consider the impact on the 20th century. If the Russian Empire never existed in its autocratic form, the Russian Revolution might never have happened. Without the Romanovs, there is no Lenin, no Stalin, and no Soviet Union.
The Cold War, the Iron Curtain, and the nuclear arms race as we know them simply evaporate from the timeline. Instead of a world divided between East and West, the center of gravity for the entire planet would likely reside in a massive, democratic Slavic Union centered in Warsaw and Moscow.
However, the Commonwealth's greatest strength was also its greatest weakness. Its decentralized liberum veto allowed a single noble to block any law, often leading to political paralysis. Could such a system have governed the vast frozen expanses of Siberia?
Or would the golden liberty have devolved into chaos, leading to a much earlier and violent collapse of the Slavic world? We are looking at a world where the Enlightenment moves eastward centuries faster, where the Cyrillic and Latin alphabets live side by side in a single parliament.
And where the history of Europe is written by a single colossal superpower that never learned how to fail. It is a world that was only one treaty away from reality.
If you want to explore more hidden ripples in the fabric of history, subscribe now.